Hi guys, it's Christy again with Create with Christy. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm back with my 12 days of crafting advent calendar series. I'm doing a video for each day of this advent calendar. You're going to love this. And I revealed day one yesterday in my live, and you can find the link to that playlist that's going to have all the videos for my projects from this advent calendar below in the video description. So if you missed day one, click on that playlist and you'll find it there. And I will reveal a product each day. I'm going to do it just like the calendar was meant to be. I'm not going to show everything all at the same time. This is a super wonderful product. I love it. It's from Stampin Up. And like I said, it's called the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. For $99, you get this stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set. And you get this. It has 12 products in it, and you reveal each one each day. $99 is a steal. I can't get over everything. Actually, just this and the day one product is almost about half the price of what you're paying, and then you still have 11 days worth of product to go. So it's a really, really good deal. I was totally surprised. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the inside. Isn't this fun? Nice little present box to open. This was day one, which was the dies. You can see those in my day one video. So remember, it's down in the playlist below. The link to that is in the video description. Now we're ready for day two. So I'm going to open this up, and it's this beautiful pack of DSP. And DSP is Designer Series paper, in case you didn't know that. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. It is a 6x6 pack. It is one-sided design. As you can see, one side's white. And you get 2 of each of 10 designs. So we've got this pretty one here. I'm going to put this down so I can get a hold of these. Then we've got this design, a real faint leafy. I think that's probably basic beige. I remember that's one of the colors. I will list all the colors up at the top, and those are the colors I'll be using on all the cards in this series. Then there's this one. Then I've got this one. That one's pretty. I like that one. I like all of them, actually. This neat watercolor brush look. This one here, I do remember the pink is Flirty Flamingo, so that's what color that one is. This would be Crushed Curry. This would be Old Olive. I may be remembering all the colors off the top of my head. And this is like Misty Moonlight and Secret Sea, I mean. And we've got this design here, pretty flowers. And last but not least, this one right here. So I'm doing this series. I'm making a card for each day, like I said. And there is a way to get the card kits to make one each of all 12 cards for free. Just click on that thank you gifts link down below in the video description to get all of the information, but I'll also go over it here later in the video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get set up to make, oh, I didn't get all the papers in there, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my supplies together for my card number 2. That'll feature this DSP, and I'll probably be using the dies too. See you in a little bit. Okay, to make the day 2 card, first off, you want to get your stamp set out, and you're going to use both of the flower stamps and a larger of the flower centers. You're also going to use the larger leaf, and you're going to want to use the Healing Hug stamp. And then from the kit, I've already got the DSP out since I showed that to you a minute ago. And then I haven't opened any of these yet, so the only other thing I can use are the dies, and I am going to use those, so get those dies out. And then the ones that you need to use are the 2 big flower ones, these 2 right here. And you also need the little butterfly. Oh, there he is. And those are all the dies that you need. And then from the DSP, this is what I'm featuring for today's card. You can probably already tell which one, because I've only made 1 card with this paper. So it's going to be this one, so let's find the full one. I could actually use these. That is what I need for the card, but I wanted to show you how I cut it. So let's get the other one out. You get 2 of each. Now I need to get the cutter out, and I need a 4 1/4 by 3 inch piece. So first I'm going to do the 4 1/4, like so. And then I'm going to do 3 inches. And then they're both the exact same size, so I can pick which one I like the best. I'll go ahead and do this one. And then there's this piece left here. I need a 3/4 inch strip. So I'm going to do 3/4. And I'm measuring the 3/4 here on the right side of my trimmer. And then I need it to be 5 1/2 inches long. There we go. So if you were to make this card again, you can get your cardstock together. I do only give you enough supplies in the kit to do one, but you'll be able to do two per piece of paper, DSP that's in there. And that is all the DSP we need to do. And now it's time for the card base. I should have left my trimmer out. This is thick basic white cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5. And because it's extra thick, I always score it first because it folds a lot better when you do so. So with our trimmer, the dark one is the cutting, so I'll get that out of the way. And I need to, with the 8.5-inch side along the top, I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And with this scoring blade, you have to go over a few times to get it a nice crease in there. And then after you score, it's kind of the opposite. I always thought that the valley was the inside of the fold. It's actually the side that has the little mountain. That's the inside. So I'm going to fold this. I'm still going to line my corners up just in case I didn't get that score line exactly straight. It just helps to have it scored originally. If it's off just a little bit, that score still helps this fold. If you don't do that score line, it kind of wrinkles a little bit because of the extra thick cardstock. Okay, now the fold is going to be on the top, so I'm going to put this over to the side. Now I'm going to take a piece of Misty Moonlight. This is 4.5 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to grab this DSP piece, get my seal going here. And don't worry about writing all of these sizes down. I'm going to put them in a blog post. I'm kind of a project sheet, that's what I call them, on my blog. And it will give you all the paper dimensions and the supply list and pictures of the card, the outside and the inside of the card. This is just going to go right here in the middle. And then this can go right in the middle of the card base. So get some sealed adhesive on here again. And just put it right here in the center. I love this paper. It is so pretty. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to grab a piece of Misty Moonlight. This is 5.5 by 1. And I'm going to put it across the center of my card base, right over that DSP. So I'm going to put it right along the edge of the card base. And don't worry if it's not centered perfectly, just get it close. That looks pretty good. There we go. Is any of it hanging over? Oh, just a teeny tiny bit. I'm not even going to worry about it. I don't think anybody noticed. So that is ready. Now I need to get some stamping going. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, because this is a photopolymer stamp set. And this cushioning helps give you the right foundation for these stamps. So I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to grab this piece. This is an 8.5 by 2 3/4 inch piece of basic white. I'm going to ink this up, the big flower. And then I'm going to stamp it once. And then stamp it again without re-inking, because I want a lighter version. And now I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper here. I'm going to ink up the little one with the Misty Moonlight. And I want it lighter too, but I only need one. So I'll stamp it on my scrap paper and then stamp it again. Okay. I'm going to grab that flower center with crushed curry. Actually, I'll leave that Misty Moonlight open. I'm going to use that here in just a minute. Take the crushed curry and do the little flower centers. I think this large one looks good with both sizes of the flower. There we go. And now I need to grab the old olive and the leaf that I had you get out. And I need to stamp 3 leaves. Now there's not a die for the leaves. This is one. Oh, there we go. Got a little tight there for a second. So I'm going to have to fussy cut these out with scissors. But it is really easy to cut, so don't worry about that. I'm not a big fussy cutter either, but it doesn't take long at all. Now that's everything that's going to be stamped on this one. You do need to grab that smallest piece of basic white if you get the kit. This is a 2 1/4 by 3/4 inch. I'm using the Healing Hugs. I'm going to ink it up with my Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to stamp it near the center. It doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to cut a little bit. There we go. The only thing I'm going to cut is the end. I think I did that on the last card. I told you I like to do this a lot. So I'm going to grab my scissors. There we go. And I'm going to cut the right end at an angle like that. This is going to be tucked under a flower. That's why I want to have that white, because it's going to be covered up a little bit. Okay, that is all. Actually, let's go ahead and finish the inside. Might as well get the card base done, and then we can die cut some things. So grab that thin piece of DSP from the beginning. It's 5.5 by 3/4. And it is going to go along the bottom of the inside of the card. You can put it all the way to the bottom or up a little bit. I almost always like to have a little bit of a white strip at the bottom. There we go. So that is all we're going to do for the inside of the card. I decided to do just DSP since that's what I'm featuring today. Okay, so we can put this to the side, and now it's time to get the die cutting machine out. Okay, to get ready for die cutting with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you need the base platform number 1, the die plate number 2, and a standard cutting plate number 3. I'm going to grab these, and I'm going to grab a little piece of crushed curry. This is a 1 by 1 piece. It's just a 1-inch square. Let's go ahead and put this on the little flower here. Yeah, little flower. I think it goes this way. There we go. All right, that looks good. Now put some of my Post-it tape on. You can also use the adhesive part of Post-it notes. Works just as good because it's the same adhesive. I'm going to put the big flower on here. Oops, wrong one. There we go. I think it's this way. Nope, there we go. It's relatively easy to figure out. There are only so many ways you can do it. Normally I get that big one lined up the first try. And this one is going to get that little butterfly die. Just as long as it's on the cardstock, I don't have to worry about putting tape on it for it to move. Put tape on those because I want it to stay around that the stamped images. Now run this through. And have the little butterfly here. Usually doesn't come, sometimes it comes out. I think I'm going to have to use my Take Your Pick tool. That is fine. Do the paper piercer part. I've got these little holes. The outer ones poke out all the little pieces. And then that middle one will help push out the actual butterfly. So we've got that ready. And then let me go ahead and grab these little pieces here. Get those thrown away. I only need this die for the one flower, so I can put it away, but there's that flower. And got this one. But now I need to die cut this one. So go ahead and die cut this one just like you did with the first one. So there is that. So that's all the die cutting we can do. So let's go ahead and put this machine away and we'll finish the card. But keep this because we're going to have to fussy cut those leaves out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just cut this end off. Sometimes I think it's easier to fussy cut with a smaller piece of cardstock. And the trick to fussy cutting is moving the paper more than you move the scissors. So I'm going to start down here. And I'm of course, closing the scissors as I go slowly. But the moving is happening with the paper, not the scissors. And then when I need to open the scissors up some more, I stop moving, open up the scissors, and then start again. But if you move the paper more than you do the scissors, sometimes you still move the scissors a little bit. But if you move the paper the most, then you're going to get a smoother curve as you go around. Now, this is super easy. I'm going really slow just so you can see how I'm doing it. And then when I got to this part, I originally just kind of went over and made like a little curve. And it didn't look quite right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around this little green part here. Just go down a little bit. I'm not going to go that far. It doesn't take that much. And then curve back. So I'm back up to the leaf. And then cut around here. It just looks a lot better that way. And there's not as much white. That just gives more of a shape to it. It looks a lot better. So that is how you're going to want to fussy cut the other two. There we go. As you can tell, when I got done, I didn't have a big enough divot there, so I made it a little more. You can always just keep playing with it until it looks like the way you want it to. Okay, now I'm going to bring the card base back in. Bring all the flowers in. Now this one I'm going to pop up with dimensionals. And I only want to put them towards the middle because I'm going to be tucking some leaves and some flowers underneath it. So that is probably pretty good. I'm not going to take the tape off yet, or the paper backing off yet, because I'm going to lay this down about where I want it. And then I'll lay this one down and this one down. It goes, this little one goes under all of them. I've got it close the way I want it. Then I'm going to grab the small one. Oops. Put some adhesive on it. Oops. And this one, you can put it all over if you want to. I'm not going to worry about going on those little bitty petals, because then you're going to see a bunch of glue on the other side. I'm going to put this down nice and easy. It's going to go underneath both the flowers. I kind of want that flower center to still be showing, though. So now I might move these a little bit. I didn't push it down in case I want to move it a little bit again. So far I like that, but it's just tapped down a little bit. I can peel it off later if I need to. Now this one, I'm going to mainly put adhesive on the middle part for sure, because I'm going to be sticking the sentiment underneath this one. So let's see here. Is that the way I want it? Not quite. The petals are so different. You kind of have to play around with it, see the way you like it. But I still, like I said, I want to see that flower center, that small one. I think we can bring it out just a little bit more. Up a little bit. And now I'm going to lay this down and see how I like it. Not too bad. So, I think I like it better this way. So I'll get my original, see how I did this one. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and push these down. I'm going to turn this over. I always use my the paper piercer on my Take Your Pick tool and scoop these paper backings up and then just throw them away. And then I'm going to put this one on, still making sure I can see the flower center. That's not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and push it all down. I'm going to go ahead and grab the sentiment, put some adhesive on it. And then this end here is going to go underneath this flower. So you just lift it up a little bit. And that looks pretty good. Make sure it's straight. It's got a little ink on there, but I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. So that is ready. All the flowers are on. Now we just have the leaves and the butterfly. So go ahead and grab all of those. I'm going to grab my silicone craft mat just so I don't get too much adhesive on my glass mat. You can tell I've already done that a little bit anyway. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. You can always use glue if you want to. But I'm using the seal this time, so that way if I want to move the leaves around a little bit, I can. I'm going to get that there. Once you use glue and you put it down, it's usually a little hard to get back up again, especially if you use pressure. The first 10 minutes, you can definitely move it. But it's a lot easier, too, if you just tap it down a little bit. I'm going to stick this under there. I don't want it to go over the edge of the card base. At least if it goes over just a little bit, that's okay. And I'll put a little bit of glue on this one. And I'm going to stick it underneath this one. Okay. I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and push those down. And now I've got a little work to do on this butterfly. I'm going to grab my rhinestones. Remember that the rhinestones don't come in the kit. You can use whatever embellishments you have, or you can also place a qualifying order with my thank you gifts. You can find out more information about my thank you gifts by clicking on that thank you gifts page down below in the video description. But with the qualifying order, one of my thank you gifts is to get the full pack of the rhinestones. But my thank you gifts also include, the very first one is some card kits for my tutorial for my email list. I do exclusive tutorials on my email list, for my email list people, that is. And if you place at least a $40 order after redeeming rewards and before shipping and tax, you will get the card kits to make 2 of that card. If you do a $99 order or get the advent calendar, you will get those same card kits plus the card kits to make 1 each of my 12 cards for this, all of these that I'm doing each day. And then $120 order will also get you the full pack of the rhinestones. You can find out that information on my Thank You Gifts page. So I'm going to take a large rhinestone and put it at the top of the butterfly body. I'm going to grab a medium-sized one, put it right underneath, and then grab a small one and put it right there. Okay. And now I'm going to take glue dots I'm going to put one, find my first one. I'm going to put one right on the top, because that rhinestone, I can usually hide behind that rhinestone pretty good. Now down here at the bottom, I'm probably still going to see a little bit of a glue dot. So what I'm going to do, yeah, I can tell there's some hanging over the little openings there in my butterfly. So I'm taking my fingernail and bending the glue dot wherever I see it hanging over a rhinestone or the butterfly. Turn it over and see if I see it. I don't, so I think I got it just right. So I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to put my butterfly about right there. And that is it. That is day 2 for the 12 days of crafting advent calendar. So I hope you guys like that. Sorry for being a day later than I had planned, but I'm right on track to be able to do these every day from here on out. So day 3 card will be tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Make sure, if you don't want to miss any of my videos, click that subscribe button below, and then make sure you click on the bell icon and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video and you won't miss anything. And if you don't have a demonstrator of your own and live in the United States, but you don't have any catalogs, I can give you the annual catalog and the new spring catalog, which is actually called the January to April mini catalog. I will send those out to you in the mail. Click that contact me link down in the video description and give me your mailing address, and I'll get your first set mailed out to you for free. Okay, well, that is it. I will see you guys all later. See you in the next video tomorrow. Bye, guys.